nature of the fixtures, giving them an edge on the rest when the league campaigns do kick in. And there is always an edge when these two meet. For Atletico, an opener against Guadalajara in Arlington. And I think the emblazoned T-shirts tell the story of an up and down pre-season so far. Marco Asensio, as you may be aware, set for a very long spell on the sidelines, and a little message of goodwill from all his teammates there. That's a good touch. And not the only injury concern, as you will shortly find out. So much to look forward to here this evening. So a relatively balmy 79 degrees. And certainly acceptable levels of humidity. I know there's a huge heat wave going on back home, but this should not inconvenience these players. Superstars on both sides. The first ever Madrid derby played outside of the Spanish capital, and who better in the whole world of football than Jerry Armstrong to watch it with us. Welcome, Jerry.
Thanks very much, Paul. Looking forward to this. It's a bit of history in the making. Obviously, these two clubs have never competed outside of Spain. I'll throw you a few facts in as well. Obviously, you've got, you know, there's a lot of animosity between the two clubs, and of course Atletico Madrid finished second in the league last season and Real Madrid were third, but you'll see a lot of competitiveness, and that's the start of it now.
Right away it was Lamar making his mark. It was shifted right to Diego Costa, and Atletico have scored within 43 seconds here. Talk about being caught cold in the heat. Real Madrid nowhere, and Atletico lead 1-0.
Well, that's it. They lost a challenge on the halfway line now. You talk about Diego Simeone. His teams are so fired up, and we've been chatting about it before the game kicked off. They're fired up. They want to win this game. The animosity, the hatred between the two clubs. You'll see that later on. And I'm going to mention, obviously, Sergio Ramos, who's been sent off 19 times in La Liga, 24 times in total. That looks like it takes a deflection. I think the shot from Costa was deflected by Sergio Ramos. Let's have a look, see.
Jerry, I wonder whether Morata was also very clever. Would he have been given offside if he touched it? I don't know.
Well, let's see again. I think the keeper had it covered. It was going to hit the near post, and it was deflected into the far post there, off the right foot ankle of Sergio Ramos, and had Morata touched it, I think it would have been disallowed. And he was clever enough to let it run. And I'm not sure these two guys would get together and be a good formation, the two centre forwards, because they're similar. Put his claim in.
Toni Kroos with the corner. The man nice and sharp again. A little help on its way by João Felix. And very nicely worked to Morata, who's also moving well here early on. Diego Costa was creeping in behind Marcelo. They're looking razor sharp here, Atletico.
Well, Morata does brilliant. The ex-Real Madrid player, who I think should never have been sold. That's a free kick.
But the press is strong and purposeful all round the field from Atletico. And Eden Hazard, well, here we go again with Hazard. We know what an absolute superstar he is, Jerry.
So they have to find the best formation, and Luka Jovic has got to find hard. He's going to get opportunities in centre goal. We haven't seen anything of him. He's been really unfortunate. And look at this, over the top, he's onside.
It's another race for Ramos to get back onside. Such a poor touch by Costa. Courtois, well, he's presented with it in the end. Morata and Costa are running riot at the moment. It was Morata, actually, who was in that time.
Well, Nacho playing at centre-half, Paul, alongside Sergio Ramos. He gets sent off in the game, and he hasn't had a particularly good tournament so far for me.
Vinicius,
this poor second touch, should have been 2-0 up.
Taken short this time to the back post by Modric. It wasn't a bad one. Nacho was in there. Marcelo. Tentative little prod at the ball by Vinicius.
But he's not playing well at the moment. He's a wee bit short of confidence for me.
Vinicius Junior, one who hopes will profit from the departure of Bale, and it's beautifully worked to Odriozola. There were times last season when one suspected that Zinedine Zidane really wanted to get Vinicius Junior in the side ahead of Bale.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes, but Vinicius, it took a little bit of time for him to come through at his age. Look at his cut back from Odriozola, looking for very
slow to start against Arsenal. And Even before that, Jerry, I think back to the latter part of last season, the second coming of Zizou to Real Madrid, and it did not go very well. Those defeats mounted up, didn't they, late in the campaign? Valencia, Rayo Vallecano, Real Sociedad. They even lost at home to Real Betis at the very end of the season. So a win would be very, very important for them, I think.
Yeah, they're a bit short of confidence again, and it's scoring goals now. Look at this.
Saul has got it. And it's 2, and João Felix weighs in with a goal for his new club. A fabulous start to his Atletico Madrid career. There's one thing to score in that famous jersey, but to do it against the famous all-white makes it all right indeed.
Well, that's a dream start for João Felix. He's come into the box. He had a great season last year, particularly the second half for Benfica. And Sal gets to the byline, too easy for me, cuts it back. Oh, there's 3 or 4 white shirts. They're not picking anybody up. And it's awful defending, it really is. And where's Odriozola? He might get forward, but he hasn't got back, and it's a tap in for João Felix, and a great opening debut goal in the derby for him. Oh, too easy, Paul, far too easy.
Atletico Madrid, true to type, seem to have been working very, very hard while they've been here since the 0-0 against Guadalajara to open the International Champions Cup campaign. And the hard yards they've been putting in under Simeone in preparation for this game are paying off, because they look, yards quicker.
They look a better organised team. They're working. They have a shape to them. They haven't had as many changes. I know they've lost Griezmann, who's a big loss, but you know they've got 2 goal scorers or 2 target men. I'm not being funny. Diego Costa should have scored 2 minutes ago. It should have been 3-0, and they have had a horrendous start. 2-0 down against Arsenal. They missed chance after chance against Bayern Munich in the opening half, and they ended up losing 3-1, and I thought deservedly so. But they need to find the shape. They need to find a pattern. They need to slot this man into position along with all the others. There's so many faces they're trying to find out about, and there's players who are not even here at the moment who are unavailable. Casemiro's one of them.
Laid off by Jovic, but Jovic not really doing much in where he can do his best work, which is in that penalty box.
Oh, Paul, on the counter-attack, they're going to rip them to pieces.
Morata again finding João Felix. João Felix again! Courtois in goal, throws his arms wide and says, I need a bit of help here, guys. They couldn't so easily be 3 down.
4 against 2. The other 2 are coming back. They're out of the game. It's the 2 full-backs, Marcelo and Odriozola. It's the 2 centre-halves left, 4 on 2. He should have scored, or he should have played somebody else in. It should be 4-0.
Modric trying to pick it up for Real Madrid. Odriozola had the chance to get his head up and look for a target, and that's as easy as it could be for Trippier. Nicely taken by Morata. This is one of the great unknowns, of course, for 2019-20, isn't it? Morata, if they can get a tune out of him, Jerry. Here's Lamar, who's looked very, very good so far, and he's worked it well. Ramos got his head on it. Some composure is required from Real Madrid's point of view. Vinicius gives it to Eden Hazard. Hazard down the middle. Eventually got clear of Saul's challenge. Vinicius Junior. Jovic is well picked up at the moment, and there was nothing to cross it to.
I don't know what the shape is. I don't know how they're going to play. He didn't anticipate it well.
Real Madrid will do well to recover again here, though, as they did against Arsenal. This looks an altogether stiffer test here.
Well, they won't capitulate too easy. This well-organised machine that Simeone has put together, and they know the Real Madrid players inside out. I just think the shape of the Atletico Madrid team and players is much, much better than Real Madrid. They are all over the place at the moment, Paul, to be honest. Well, there's something wrong with Morata. He's not injured, is he?
I think they're not going to take a chance. He's going to be withdrawn. That's sad for him, and obviously a concern going forward. Real Madrid know all about that during this spell in the United States. They've had several injuries of their own, of course.
If they think they had problems with Morata, Correa is a flying machine.
And somebody they really believe in.
Angel Correa is a goal scorer, he's a flying machine, and you know that's maybe a better partnership now because you've a target man and Diego Costa, and you've a little quick guy who'll play off him and he'll run them ragged as well. He thinks he's come to the world beaters here. They really have started so well.
25 million from Tottenham. And here's the young left-back, Renan Lodi, who is also looking a player in the great tradition of Lamar. Deflection on it, Courtois got down well. It was Diego Costa who
run in the Champions League, but he needs to improve on that every year. He drives himself on. He's such a hard pass master. That's a good ball. There's Trippier.
Eluded Marcelo. Ramos kept his arms by his side. It's nicely done by Koke. Brilliantly done. And it's 3. Oh, it's fantastic. They can't stop themselves from scoring. Correa's in this time.
Oh, what a goal.
Koke so very, very clever, and Courtois beaten again.
Well, I did say to you, when this young boy comes on, Angel Correa, he is a flying machine. He's got great technique. He knows where the back of the net is, and I think that's a good partnership. Really is. But the ball from Sal was a good ball. You're right. I think Real Madrid are still in second gear. They're first everything. Trippier wins this. The ball forward, clever, links it through. He's onside. He takes a touch. He knows where the back of the net is, and instinctively pivots there and bang, back of the net. No chance for Courtois. 3-0. This is a rout. It really is. Wonderful skills.
But Jerry, what are Real Madrid doing back there? Everybody rushes to the ball. It's panic stations in front of Courtois.
We need to see changes. We need to see changes in attitude with the players. There's a lot of experienced players on there. You know, Luka Modric is World Cup final player, and I don't see it. And Sergio Ramos has won the World Cup. Here's Luka Modric.
Vinicius Junior didn't wait for Odriozola this time, and Oblak took one then. He got a strong hand on the ball.
Well, it's Jovic, I think, trying to get on the end of it, which he's entitled to. It was a great ball in, and it's a 50-50. The goalkeeper, Oblak, is very, very brave. I think Luka Jovic has just stuck his foot out, trying to get a contact on it, and he does catch him. It looks accidental to me, but it must have hurt.
Might have hurt both of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what they paid the money for, Jerry. 60 million to Eintracht Frankfurt to bring him in. He had a fabulous goal-scoring run last season in the Bundesliga.
He's a poacher. He needs better service, and that's the first service he's really had in the opening 25 minutes. Now, is this going to be a striking goal?
Yes, it is. Not a very good one, in all honesty, from Lamar, but we know he's capable. Incidentally, the left-back, Renan Lodi, is moving okay, and so too here again is Correa. Jerry forecast he would be lively, and he was correct. Diego Costa wants it played in his direction. They're first to everything. Saul had a pop from distance.
That's the key for me. Angel Correa, when he made the run there and he was onside, he's coming from a deep position. Nobody picks him up. Look at that pass. It's awful.
Saul won it back, and here we go again, and it's 4. And this is actually becoming embarrassing for Real Madrid.
Well, it's easy for Sal, because if you anticipate and you want to get to the ball before the opposition and they're in second gear, they're going to have chance after chance, and they can score at will. 4-0. This is going to be a huge defeat.
Diego Costa written off too soon, perhaps. He's got 2 here against Real Madrid.
It's all about anticipation, and when Sal wins it and gives it to him, Diego Costa's not going to miss. Thank you very much. There, the pass from Sergio Ramos is awful. Luka Modric on his back foot. Sal anticipates it, wins the ball, slots it in. They are committing suicide. They really are awful. Wow.
Wasn't anywhere near his best in 2018-19, but he looks renewed here, I must say.
Well, Thomas, probably 90% of the games I played, I had some sort of a knock. So you either want to play, you don't want to play. But when your confidence is low and you're not scoring goals, maybe you didn't want to play for that reason. And here's Karim Benzema on the park after 29 minutes.
I'm afraid it has been as bad a start to his Real Madrid career as Luka Jovic could ever have envisaged. And straight away onto the head of Benzema.
It's more like a cushioned header, wasn't it, rather than a powerful header. Yeah. Well, it was his left knee, as I made the point, and they haven't had a good time with left knees, as I said. Marcus said to you, hopefully it's nothing serious. And there's a yellow card, and that's the edge we were talking about. And it's, you know, that man, I can't believe Isco has made a tackle. Well, it's a silly challenge, because the first touch from Correa is there. He's got the ball, and he doesn't go anywhere near the ball. He's right in front of the referee. He leaves him no choice but to book him. That was made out of frustration more than anything.
I'll tell you another great thing about this tournament, the International Champions Cup, Jerry. I go back a year or two ago to Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich came to play in this tournament, and there was quite clearly something wrong. Something was amiss, and everybody, it was nearly 5 thanks to Ramos there, everybody at the time said, oh no, it's only the warm-up games, it's Bayern Munich, they'll get better. Ancelotti had gone by the second week of September. Yeah. Lamar, it's a good one. Sharp stop from Courtois, completely unchallenged. Was it Savic who went for it?
Yeah, and this is awful. He has nobody picking him up, marking him. It's a free header. Have a look at this. Where's his marker going? It looks like it's Toni Kroos, who should be close to him, but they're not picking him up. Free header, he comes in from the edge of the box and hammers the header, and it's Hermoso. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. How many chances? And he's made 2 or 3 good saves. They're obviously thinking, can we get Pogba in here? Are they going to have the money for him? They're going to have to sell. Obviously, Bale's going to make way for, and they bring cash into that. There's a push in the back. Push in the back.
It was Modric's cross that found Karim Benzema.
Yeah, I think you'll see the little nudge in the back of Trippier. He just pushes him there and wins the ball. But even then, when he cushions it down, the shot from Vinicius is
right now.
Yeah, the majority of the fans have come here to see the Real Madrid, but they haven't seen the Real Madrid. They've seen a pretender of a Real Madrid. It's not really turned up yet. Here we go.
The new look Atletico are brisk, business-like, confident, and very fit for a team that's only played 1 game before tonight. And here's Kieran Trippier arriving in the box. It's a great ball by Trippier, wow. And it should again be 5.
Oh, fabulous ball, Kieran Trippier. I tell you, that was different class. Lamar would be disappointed he hasn't put that one away. Super ball in, he whips it in. Oh, it's a great delivery. He's got to just cushion that one with his left foot in the back of the net. It's got to be in the goal, and so disappointed with the finish. No, Raphael Varane should be in there. He's a world-class centre-half who is a French World Cup winner. He's got to be in, and I think Carvajal's going to end up getting in instead of... Oh!
That's a bit more like it, and Oblak gets a lucky bounce back off the post. Vinicius Junior hit the post, but he couldn't squeeze it into the net, which is what Real Madrid really need right now.
Yeah, that's the best moment of the first half for Real Madrid. And you know, Vinicius Junior in the penalty area, he's closed down. It goes through the legs of Savic and in off the inside of the post, back into the hands of Oblak. A little bit of good fortune for them there.
And Jerry, not dissimilar to the position from which Correa.
Definitely, when you come with a reputation, players will try and do anything they can to prevent you being that class player that you were in your own country. Maybe under a lot more pressure. Still very young and developing, has great potential.
Cross got up to Koke, and he's given it to Vinicius Junior. Good recovery by Koke. Toni Kroos had an extra touch then. Picked up by Modric. He's found Marcelo. Again, he took a long time to hit it. Eden Hazard, he doesn't want to switch onto his right the way he would have at Chelsea and hit that.
And that's what I thought he should have done. Come inside on the right and hammered it. Well, you know, two half-shot chances on the edge of the box, and there's always
incoming player.
Well, the pressure on an Atletico Madrid team is obviously not as great because of what they've achieved. They've won now 10 titles over the history of Spanish La Liga. That's a great ball, he's in.
Lodi again to João Felix, who's shaping up so very well. João Felix, a new name to so many over here. Not for much longer. Diego Costa went over. It might be a penalty. It is a penalty.
There's a little bit of a shimmy from Diego Costa when he receives the ball inside the box. This is brilliant skill from João Felix. He lays it off here, and there's the pass from Lamar now. One touch. Oh, it's a silly challenge from Isco.
Who's on a yellow card, remember. I wonder whether there's another yellow to come.
That's a penalty kick all day long. He's got to be kidding me. Good save from Courtois. He's had a busy first half.
I was going to say, Jerry, not the first good save from Courtois by any means. Respectable. Costa down the middle, beats Courtois, and Real Madrid would rather be anywhere else right now. It's Real Madrid 0, Atletico Madrid 5, and honestly, hardly anyone can believe this.
Well, I would say they've created at least 9 or 10 chances, and he's clever. He's don't follow the eyes. Courtois goes to his right, he hammers it straight down the middle, he opens his body up slightly, but Diego Costa, first half hat-trick. Who would have thought it?
There may well be wholesale changes. Atletico changed everybody at the half. "33 times La Liga champions, peerless, the 13-time European champions, and in this International Champions Cup meeting here in New York, Real Madrid have looked a pale imitation of their club's great history. It has been all Atletico Madrid. Diego Costa has got a hat-trick, and Atletico are in dreamland here. They've been all over Real Madrid."